Hi, and welcome to Origin of Concepts once again. In this episode, we will explore Venus and Aphrodite from Greek Roman mythology. I mixed the myth of the two goddesses together because they are pretty much similar. The Romans are the copycats of the Greek origins. And by the way, this topic has puzzled me for years, so I'm very excited to show you my discoveries and share it with you. Just to let you know, like 10 years. Okay. So let's go into the main myth of Venus. I'll just use the term Venus. Okay. The myth tells that Cronus castrates Uranus with his sickle and throws his genitals into the sea, whereupon Venus is born from the blood and semen mixing with the sea foam, and carried to the shore in a seashell. She rose from the ocean near the island Cyprus as a beautiful, fully grown woman. And I agree, she is very beautiful. And I'm sure when I show you her in a moment, you will agree with me. So let's find her. Because it's no secret, she's right here in the Milky Way. And let me see here. And of course, as always, Venus is a fictive character visualized by the silvery shadow with the female figure next to the disk in the Milky Way center. And let me draw her, because it's worth it. Let's get the color. It's always the lower parts, because it's the legs. Here we got some of her. And here we got some more. And her crossed legs. And then you also got some breasts somewhere here, and some hair, red hair. But this is basically Venus. When we go along, I'll show a drawing I've made of her. But now you know what we're talking about. And then let's talk about the text, because Uranus' genitals are the disk in the center of the Milky Way here. And they are cut off by a sickle. So let's draw the sickle. The sickle is here. Yeah, like this. Here's the sickle. And the blood and the sea foam is, of course, the red light from the disk in the Milky Way, and the sea foam is here, the striped shadow, the roaring sea, or the sea foam. And then the most exciting part for me is, of course, the seashell, because the seashell is also the striped shadow here. and all the stripes is like the forming the shell. And of course, it's the crescent in many other myths. So here you got the seashells. And by the way, we could also, while we are here, draw the big shell, because this is also the big shell in the Milky Way here. And there's another one here. And of course, in the center, we got the pearl. So, but the first one is the correct one. This is just, it was just an add-on. Okay. And then she came ashore near the island of Cyprus. And of course, Cyprus is the Milky Way center. And more specific, the striped shadow here. Because Cyprus is is the cypress tree. You know, when she come ashore, it's the island of cypress trees. And the cypress trees is tall, slim trees, which of course is visualized by the stripes here. So I'll bet my 2 cents on that the real Cypress Island is named after the Milky Way center, like so many other islands and cities around the world. Okay, that was about the island. And then we got the Venus and Aphrodite versus planet Venus, because Venus is often confused with the planet Venus, which I believe is a significant error, because the goddess Venus have nothing to do with the planet Venus at all. That's a big mistake. Venus is a character from the Milky Way center, which is used to name the planet Venus, and not vice versa. The planet Venus is not used to create the myth. It's the opposite. So let me repeat. Venus is a character from the Milky Way center, which have been used to name the planet Venus. And this confusion concerns all the known constellations named by Ptolemy, and has diverted the basic understanding of most of the world myths for thousands of years. Because it's very, very few of the world myths that is associated with stars and planets. And if they are, it's always like a secondary option for measurements or other like more technical stuff, but never in the main myth. Okay, that was the end of that chat. I have been looking forward to go out with this message for years, and now, ta-da! Okay, because it also confused me for many years, so that's why. Okay, we go to the next, because Venus is also the morning and evening star. And again, this is associated with the planet Venus. But that's wrong, because the morning and evening star are rather the spirit light from the disk in the center of the Milky Way center. You know, Lucifer, the supposed to be the bad guy, but Lucifer is no bad guy. It's the spirit light from the disk in the Milky Way center here. Let me draw it here. This is Lucifer. And of course, the goddess Venus from the Milky Way is the light bringer. So there you got it. All you conspiranauts out there. She is the bringer of the light, or the spirit, so to speak. Okay, and then Venus also wears a crown. And this crown is also the striped shadow here. It is always the crown. So here you got her crown. And you could also call it what is the name? Diadem for princesses. And yeah, you can note that the crown is always made of herbs or wreaths or plants. You know, it's a natural, because this is the planty area with the trees and bushes and stuff like that in every single myth. So this is the, what do you name the field with the plants. Okay. And then she got, all right, her chariot. And the chariot is pulled by swans. And of course, her chariot, this is the seat of her chariot here. It's also the throne. And here is the sides. And then, of course, it's pulled by the swans here. The striped shadow always represents animals pulling the chariot. It could be goats or reindeers or horses or you name it. So here we got the swans. Oh, they got 2 legs. Something like that. And then it's important to know that if now we use the swan in this case, because if we talk about swans, more than one swan, it's always the striped shadow here, because that's the crowd of everything. But if we are talking about a single swan, because then it's the entire Milky Way center. And let me try to draw it for you, because here we got the great swan. I will and here, of course, we got the eye, and we got the wing here, the striped shadow. So this is the great swan in the Milky Way center. So one swan is the whole thing, and swans, more than one, is the striped shadow. Okay, now I think that was all. But before I leave, I will show you a little picture I have drawn, because Venus is always easiest to see when the Milky Way is standing vertical on the horizon, which she does in the northern hemisphere in August. Before she sink below the horizon in the winter months. But let me show the image here so you can see exactly how she looks, or as I think the ancients saw her in the sky. There she is. That's how she looks when she's standing on the horizon. And note that many statues are missing their arms. That's just speculation. But isn't she beautiful? Yes, she is. And by the way, that's one of the only figures in the Milky Way you actually can where you actually can see the full form or imagine it, because it really looked like a lady in the sky, the queen of the heavens. So and the other person that is very visible is Jesus hanging on the cross, but I'll save that for the Jesus video. Okay, that's all, folks. Now you know where to find Venus in the sky. Go out, take a look at her. She is beautiful. And of course, if you like my videos, give a thumbs up. If not, tell me to castrate myself and sail away in a seashell. Until next video, take care. Bye.